Rolling.
And action.
So a very powerful scene, as we can see there. So there's a quick analysis. The shot in the scene is phenomenal. Phenomenal. With the movement, camera angles, and the choice of dialogue and much more. We can see the birth of emotion in the character Will as it slowly escalates, making him extremely angry to just sadness. As if he gives up, knowing he can't do anything about it. What caught my eye was the way that Phil takes off his hat when they hug, as a sort of a way that Father Lou is not in his life anymore, because they're both wearing a hat in this scene. But as he hugs him, he takes off the hat, like, don't worry about him or don't think about him. Where it's like a way, like, you don't have to carry that weight on your shoulder. Part 2, analysis. Another good use of the camera angles is the last shot taken of the statue Will bought for his father. That symbolizes father and son, as you can tell. Sort of him like hugging him, trying to make him comfortable. The camera pans to the statue for a variety of effects to the viewers. They can mean that Phil was the father figure that he needed, and it can try to make the audience sympathize with Will. That he will never get to the natural father and son bond that he wanted. And his emotions about that is exploited in this shot. And what I also notice is usually at the end of an episode with Will Smith, they have a song, but throughout this whole scene, it was all quiet, sort of just giving you the authenticity. Or got any questions?
Any questions from the audience? Okay, so
wait, I got a question.
Yeah, please.
Can you relate to like the scene?
No.
No. Okay.
Director and/or writers of this episode. Where is that information?
No.
Again, you did have the director listed at the very end of the clip, so that should have been in there. Technically it was. But again, you should know who wrote it, directed it. Again, there's a lot written actually about the scene because Will Smith had to go to a pretty, did anything like this happen to Will Smith? I don't know, but you should, right? So, because I mean, he really, I think, genuinely came out with some pain, right? Editing. Let's talk about the editing here. How many, not many shots here in this scene.
It was a long, shot.
I mean, not really long shots, just not a lot of shots. Okay? We talk about Will's movement, where the camera is placed.
He moves from point A to point B to try to get away from Lou in some way.
Yeah. All right. And where does Will end up at the end of the scene versus where he is at the beginning of the scene?
In the beginning of the scene, he's walking towards Lou, trying to get ready to pack up and leave, and then he goes away from Uncle Phil, but then he comes back at the end of the scene to be like, I'm gonna stay here, and that's where I'm in the bubble.
Yeah, right. Phil is now closer to the door, protecting and keeping him in the house, right? So very intentional blocking choices, along with the camera. Again, when you block, remember blocking is a term for moving the actors where the actors stand. It's also a term for what else? We don't just block the actors. What else do we block? The camera, right? So where we decide to put the camera, where we decide to put the actors, very intentional. And when you're shooting a sitcom, sitcoms aren't very well noted for being very cinematic. It's like watching a play very often because there's an actual audience when they shoot this. You guys know that most of sitcoms, there's a studio audience, and you're like, it's like they shoot it on a set like this, and you're sitting in chairs, and then the crew is in front of you, and they're shooting the cameras, whatever. It's exactly like this, for the most part. Yeah.
I would like to mention a comment of how they were talking about how he was moving back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So I was saying that probably signify his difficulty with trying to not show what he was really feeling, his real reaction to his uncle.
Right.
So.
And just in terms, yeah, please.
Oh, I just have a fun fact. Because I actually studied this scene before because I just got curious.
Mm-hmm.
So when he was crying, he was actually crying,
Mm-hmm.
and the flipping off of the hat, that wasn't intentional. But the actor who played Uncle Phil, he got emotional as well. So they just stood in the moment, and there was apparently some people on set who started crying as well because of how powerful the scene that was.
Yeah, that's pretty common. One thing that happens a lot, and again, to those of you who are ADs or will be ADs, it's really important if you're doing a scene with like a death or something that's really serious. You know, again, it's one thing, you're at work, you fool around with your crew members. Maybe most days you're having some laughs, you're doing the work, and you're great workers, but you guys fool around. A good AD will be like, hey, look, I know we all get along, we have a good time on set, but today we're shooting a death scene. We're shooting like a scene where a character's father's abandoning him. So I need you guys to kind of like tone it down and just like really be in the moment. Like when the actors come to set, like give them back the same energy they're giving you. Because imagine like Will Smith's trying to do that scene, and everybody on set is like cracking up or laughing or whatever, right? But if everybody on set is really with the actor, you're gonna get like that when that happens. They're gonna cry too, and it's gonna make the whole production better. And you can do it take after take after take. All right. This is like a really great scene from a really underrated show. It's a fantastic show. Have you guys all watched this? You guys?
Yeah.
It's still like on reruns all the time, but it still really holds up for me. And that's it. So next time when you do a presentation, right, I just want a little bit more about the people who made it, and just a little bit more analysis of the scene in terms of the editing, blocking, etc. Okay? And again, color theory too. Again, what color is this hat?
Beige.
Right? It's got this white hat. It's like bright white. Right? What do you think the white hat represents?
Like some sort of like being home. Or
Okay.
like warmth and comfort.
Warmth, comfort, innocence, right? He's still this like, in a way, in this moment, as much of like this like cocky alpha male as Will is on the show, in this moment he's a little kid again. He's this innocent little kid waiting for his dad, and being disappointed by his dad again, and regressing to being like an innocent child. And that's what makes like this scene, I think, so upsetting and so powerful. So just like little things like that, definitely intentional choices here, right? So he wears different like hats and clothing the entire show. So you got to think that's an intentional choice there. Daniel, thank you so much for bringing this to us.